Unless you directly know someone with developmental disabilities, it's hard to imagine the struggles they and their caregivers face. We are so often in our own worlds. They are amazing human beings. And it's true that we have made some adaptations and have created some accessibility and inclusion. But for the most part, people with disabilities still cannot enjoy what most of us take for granted.
I have 3 adult children now. Well, actually I have 5 children, but my 3 youngest have lifelong disabilities. My 26-year-old daughter has cerebral palsy. My son is 22 and he is legally blind and hearing impaired and has autism. So he's got a lot of challenges as well. My youngest daughter is 21. She'll be 22 in a couple weeks. And she is transitioning into adult programming. And she has just global developmental delay. And it's a challenge as a family to find things that they can all do and that they all want to do.
My youngest, who will soon be 40, is a young man with Down syndrome. But it's always been tough for him because he's a hear my own drummer kind of guy. He's all about choice. And that's hard when you're a person with a disability because transportation needs to be taken into consideration, staffing needs to be taken into consideration, accessibility has to happen.
It's hard, and it shouldn't be. So it's time for a change.
Been time for a really long time, and I can't believe that we're still where we're at. That it hasn't changed even more. People talk about inclusion and people talk about everybody being treated equally, but it really isn't. It's not inclusion when you can't walk through the door like everybody else and do the same activities as everybody else. That's been our biggest challenge, is finding something for everybody.
Something for everybody. Sounds so simple if we only knew that this need existed. These families know. People who have worked with these families know. There is a need. Jill Grossman has worked with folks with disabilities for her whole life. She speaks for these people, for these families, because she knows in her heart they deserve better. She is a woman on a quest to create a place beyond the boundaries.
Beyond the Boundaries will be a life skills and recreation center that is built for children and adults with disabilities that offers them the opportunities to learn, to experience in a very comfortable environment where they're surrounded by their own peers, but again designed for those around them, family, friends, peers, volunteers, members of the community, to participate together.
So I've never met someone more dedicated to an idea. And I work with a lot of people and a lot of dedicated people, but a few years ago when she brought this idea to me, it was just like this bright-eyed, I'm going to crush this and you're gonna help me do it, and we're gonna do this together, and we're gonna bring in a lot of different people, and we're gonna get this going. And she hasn't let off the gas since.
I've known Jill for 19 years, and we share the same passion of work with people with disabilities, and she's just an all-around wonderful person. Beautiful heart, beautiful soul.
Beyond the Boundaries, to me, is stepping beyond what we think.
This is a place where they've already made the adaptations for our folks with disabilities. The staff is there to give them the support they need. And they can come and bring friends with them, people with disabilities, people without disabilities, their families. So to me, it was like a, go get 'em, Jill.
Well, I definitely feel like everybody needs to feel like they belong to live a happier, healthier life.
I know from working with families directly that this is going to mean the world to the parents, having a place where their children can go and feel a part of something, not being looked at any differently, being accepted for who they are. And this will allow them to walk without having to look over their shoulders and feel judged.
This is a time for people with disabilities to realize they can have the best things and they deserve the best things, just like everybody else.
Of course, I first see a beautiful space. I see a beautiful building and a club, and it's very welcoming, and that they're never gonna get, you know, the last lot at the gymnasium or the basement or the agency that just has the warehouse with no windows, and that they deserve every amazing place, and this place is theirs.
How empowering would that be, to be able to walk in and feel like you really were, this was made for you?
I work with so many different families that have constantly want their kids to be a part of something that's different than just going to school and just different than the typical day-to-day. This new opportunity is going to kind of enhance their life like never before.
To have a place to go to that I know would be enriched with activities that would stimulate them, that would excite them, and would make them have friendships, would just be life-changing.
To me, it would be such a relief to know that he could go somewhere where it's already, the environment's already set up for him to get the supports he needs.
Jill's plan is to have different programs for different people, and you know, that would be great if I could go and let Abby do cooking and Allison do an art activity and Aiden work out in the gym. That would be ideal, and I would work out in the gym too.
The overall best outcome was that people learn from each other. So people with disabilities learn from people without disabilities, and people without disabilities learn from people with disabilities, and it becomes a community, and that community sort of starts to spread. And it becomes more of like a global thing, where it's not about our space, your space, their space. It's a more understanding that we all share a space.
And that I definitely believe that this is the inclusion that we need to make a difference. There's a reason why these people with disabilities are in our world. There's a reason. And if we all just open up our hearts a little bit more, we'll really understand why. And it's because they make us better people.
A high-quality lifestyle club designed specifically for people with disabilities, but open to everyone. A facility that offers a myriad of programs and opportunities. A vision that goes beyond the boundaries.